Guys, today I have a very short video for you. I am doing a 12 by 12 traditional scrapbook layout, and I am going to use some mixed media, and you can see that I brought that little kitty cat over. This is a cut file that I had made, and I didn't feel like I needed to show you guys how to do this cut file, but if you guys are interested in seeing how I do the cut files, just let me know in the comments below. So I just did that off screen and then brought it over. So this layout's pretty simple because I have the biggest kind of embellishment, if you will, with that die cut, so I didn't need to do a whole lot more with this layout. So that's really good for layouts that you are trying to make pretty simple and not have to do a lot of embellishing. Just find a fun die cut to put on the page. So what I did was I ended up putting some like glossy accent type glue in his eyes, so I thought it would be neat to have kind of shiny eyes. And then I had a glitter pen, like a Wink of Stella, that I colored in the little white parts on his hat just to kind of have him pop a little bit more since they were the same color as his body. And I think he turned out really cute, and I kind of wanted to mimic the kitty cat in the picture, which is my kitty cat Denali. And this picture is taken a couple years ago, back in 2015, so my daughter is super cute, and it's kind of hard to see in this photo, but I think she is missing one of her front teeth in that middle photo that I just put down on the page, so that's always super cute to see the little kids when they have their teeth missing. Totally miss those days. She's getting all grown up now, but you know, it's fun to scrapbook these older pictures. So now I'm just taking some of these embellishments that I had in, I think it was an old Scraptastic kit. Yeah, I can see that was an old Scraptastic kit. I believe these little die cut pieces that I've been putting on the page were from Elle Studio. And now I'm just looking and trying to see what I can do with these little vellum presents. And I'm just going to kind of spread them around the page in a couple different spots. And then I'll glue those down with just a little bit of Scotch Tacky glue. And I'm going to end up putting the date on that left tealish colored label and with just like a roller date stamp. And then I'm going to put that little heart right there. And what I'm going to do also is I'm going to do some mixed media in the background here. I thought that the background was fun because it had all the Merry Christmas, but I also thought it was a bit distracting. So in a little bit here, you'll see that I'm going to gesso the background and add a little bit of mixed media. Nothing too much, but just something to give it a little bit more interest. And, you know, kind of separate the photos and the die cut from the rest of the page. But right now I'm just cutting that Scraptastic label that says Believe. And now I'm going to trim off the branding strip on here and work on my mixed media. And for this one, I'm actually just putting down the white gesso. I'm not actually using any colors in the background, if I'm remembering correctly. And like I said, it's just really to separate the background from the photos and things so that looks kind of brings them up to the front a little bit more. So I'm just marking where everything is with a pencil so I know where to put the gesso because I don't need it all over the page. And I'm just going to rub this down. This is from Michaels, so you can get this big bottle for 40% off. It does have a little bit of a texture to it, but I don't mind in this situation the texture. And I'm just using my palette knife to scrape it around, and then because I wanted kind of a hazy look, I'll just use my finger to smudge it up a bit more. So that's pretty much all I'm going to do in this background. I did notice that my pencil lines were a bit smeary and we're kind of putting some dark parts on my paper. So I do recommend that if you are going to use pencil, use it a little bit lighter. I was having difficulty with all the Christmas, Merry Christmases on the page to see the pencil, so I ended up making them darker, but that also did kind of smear the lead of the pencil. So just be wary of that if you're going to do this technique. So there, it looks like it just gives a little bit of separation from the background page, and I like how that looks. I didn't feel like it needed any color. And now I'm just going to stitch around all of these elements. I stitched around this Believe, and then I'm going to stitch around the entire 12 by 12 page just with some black thread in my sewing machine. So you can see there it's done now. And I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. I like how that black frames the photo and kind of brings your eye into the middle of the page. And what I'm going to do next, I believe, is just start gluing everything down. And I do spare you some of that watching. And then it is all done. So next I'm just going to put a couple more embellishments. I'm going to use that date stamp to add my date. And while I'm finishing that up, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave those below. Love chit-chatting with you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to add a couple of these puffy stickers. This one up here that looks kind of like a speech bowl, and then a couple of the dots. And I am using my liquid glue to make sure they stick because I put gesso in the background and sometimes these stickers don't stick very well. I just always add a little bit of extra adhesive just to make sure. I just don't want anything falling off the page while it's being stored in the page protectors, so I tend to use a little bit of liquid adhesive on my pages. So now I am just looking to see what else I want to add. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the puffy stickers. I am going to pull out a little star here in a second, and I'm going to also glue that down. I just felt like I wanted to use more of these. I don't do a lot of Christmas layouts just because I do my December daily, so I don't end up doing a lot of these, but since these were older photos that I know I scrapped back in 2015, but I hadn't seen them in a while, it was just fun to kind of reminisce by scrapbooking these older photos, and I thought they were really cute, and I love the picture of my daughter and the kitty cat in the middle, so that's pretty much it. I do add a title later on, which you should have seen in the very first photo, and I'll try to add a photo in the end. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!